Hi, welcome back. I hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Congratulations, we made it through another week, and I hope you have some great plans for the weekend. One of my favorite TV shows growing up as a kid in the late 70s that came on Friday nights was The Incredible Hulk. And I don't know if you remember it, but it starred Bill Bixby, the late Bill Bixby, as Dr. David Banner, and Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk. And it was a great show. I love that show. And it was a psychological TV drama series. And it, regardless of what you might think about the, you know, 70s fashion or the piano, French horn, and bongos in the theme music, or that unforgettable opening narration by the late Ted Cassidy, who played Lurch on The Addams Family, it was a great show. And it also provides a really great metaphor and really illustrates what happens when your body gets out of balance. And if you'll recall, Dr. David Banner was in the lab experimenting, and in the process of his experimentation, he OD'd on gamma radiation. And as a result, when he would get triggered in some kind of way, then he would go through this metamorphosis where he would become this huge green creature that was, rage filled and, you know, going after people who, threatened or attempted to harm him. In going through trauma training, we learned that there are two types of brains. There is Banner brain, which is that calm, cool, collected brain that is really tied into the parasympathetic nervous system. And then there's the Hulk brain, which is very reactive and irrational and more primitive, kind of, and in fight, flight, or freeze mode, and heavily rooted in the sympathetic nervous system. Ideally, we want balance, but at any given time, any one of us can go from Banner to Hulk mode. And if you remember in the show, Dr. David Banner would go from, at one point, being able to problem solve, being able to work a variety of jobs where he was constantly learning new skills and he was constantly meeting new people and having to navigate various relationships and things like that, to, or even sometimes heal people. He had to sometimes heal people, bandage them up, and that sort of thing if they couldn't easily access medical attention. But if he was triggered, you add a catalyst to that, like fear or some kind of threat, whether it's real or perceived, and then suddenly there's this huge transformation that takes place, and then suddenly all of that calm and rational thinking and clear communication goes out the window, and suddenly you're dealing with this monster that's not able to communicate clearly, that's very reactive, that's angry, that's aggressive and intimidating. And we have the Hulk. And any one of us can go between the two. And the key is being able to come back to that calm state where the parasympathetic nervous system is dominant and in effect, and you can breathe deeply, you can access that logical thinking, access your moral code, and be able to have positive and productive relationships and lead a productive life. Now, that being said, I'm sure that you probably have experienced in a narcissistically abusive relationship, a lot of times the narcissist in your life has been triggered in some kind of way, or felt triggered or threatened in some kind of way, and a lot of times it can be perceived. It doesn't even have to be real. And we've talked about the fact that a lot of times narcissists have experienced traumas in their lives, early childhood, that have not been healed or dealt with. And so they can go through life in a constant state of fight, flight, or freeze, or a constant state of survival mode. We've talked about that, where they're always looking over their shoulder thinking that people are out to get them or trying to attack them or harm them in some kind of way, where they're angry and acting out as in defense of something that has absolutely nothing to do with you. And that's, truth be told, not a healthy state to be in, let alone stay in, because there are other health issues that can accompany being in that constant state of fight, flight, or freeze for an extended period of time. So if you think about it, the narcissist who's in that state is not well. And if they are not able to pull out of that state and find calm, rational thinking, go into a reasonable mode, and be able to take a step back and really look at things from that calm perspective, and be able to just even physically calm down, that's a recipe for dis-ease. And that's not where you want to be, whether it's in a relationship with someone who is in that state, or be put in that state yourself because you're around or dealing with or in a relationship with someone who's in that state, especially on an ongoing basis, and not getting any kind of help or support to reverse that. The narcissist in your life may be in their Hulk brain, but that doesn't mean that you have to be. The key is to be able to recognize when you're triggered, when you're out of balance, when you feel threatened, when things aren't right, and being able to come back to a state of calm through deep breathing, through meditation, or even being able to get help or support in getting back to that calm state where you can think rationally, you can be able to get grounded, centered, and move forward in a positive and productive fashion, and be in banner mode. You're not alone, and you're not crazy. Know who you're dealing with, know who you are. Take care, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.